Welcome back to Sunrise. Throughout the month of February, we've been celebrating Black History Month here on the show, and it continues over the next couple of days, and so does this event, Black Restaurant Week. It started last weekend. It rolls through Sunday of this week. We're talking about Portland restaurants participating in what is a national campaign to highlight some Black business owners and also give them the opportunity to soak up the spotlight when a marketing campaign on their own probably would not be affordable. We have the owner of Grits and Gravy in downtown Portland with us in studio to talk more about Black Restaurant Week and his establishment there in downtown. This is Brandon Stevens, Grits and Gravy. The finishing touches being placed on one of his shrimp grits dishes. Which one is this again, Brandon?
That is our downtown shrimp and grits. So it's our traditional take. We went over kind of the ingredients a little earlier: onion, bell pepper, Creole seasoning, fresh shrimp, cheddar cheese, and all that good stuff.
So what you, the audience can't see is the people that are behind the camera, but several people from the crew have been walking into the studio saying, man, that smells great this morning. We have just one designated eater, though, in this segment. Her name is Christine. You saw her talking about the news earlier. Now we make room for Christine to do a little eating while I do some questioning. So dig in, Christine, and we'll get your take on the shrimp and grits.
On a different plate, or because
no, make that whole thing yours.
Oh my gosh! Look at how beautiful this is, by the way.
It does look awesome,
right?
And it smells great. And Christine gets to eat it all by herself while Brandon explains the history of your business. You were telling me that you're a third-generation restaurant owner. Talk about the beginnings in California.
Yes, sir. It all started because of my grandfather, Big Al. He moved from St. Louis, dropped out of high school, went in the military after the war, came home to California, or moved to California, relocated with my grandmother, brought her back from Japan after the war. He became the first Black traveling manager of the Denny's franchise.
Oh, wow.
Then eventually became one of the first Black owners of a Denny franchise. He bought on 21st and L, Sacramento, back in 1973.
And you worked at least one of his restaurants to get your start.
Well, he got out of there and ended up opening the family restaurant, which now is the oldest Black-owned restaurant in Sacramento, Stagecoach Restaurant. The second location, owned by my uncle, is the second oldest Black-owned restaurant in Sacramento. My dad now owns the original. I started 9 years old, dishwashing, helping out. About 12, I got put on payroll, dishwashing. My dad made sure that I learned the ropes from the ground up, so no serving.
I got to interrupt just for a second because Christine is 3 spoonfuls deep into that dish this morning. Christine, your take on the shrimp and grits.
It is amazing, and honestly, it has the perfect amount of spice. Like the perfect amount of spice. The shrimp is amazing. All the spices and all that.
That's what we're shooting for.
It's filling. I like it.
You're not the only one loving the food at Grits and Gravy in downtown Portland. Take a quick look here. Some famous faces rolling through the restaurant over the last couple of years since they opened. That would be one Kevin Durant we saw a moment ago. That's the head coach of the Blazers, Chauncey Billups. A lot of people talking about how good the food is at Grits and Gravy, and we're going to talk more about it in the 6 o'clock hour. But real quick, we'll show you the information on your screen. If you want to check this place out for yourself, let's see it, Byron. Information on the screen of the restaurant, and there we go. It's open 7 days a week, all 7 days for breakfast, 5 of those days for dinner. Grits and Gravy, PDX.com. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show on this Wednesday morning, where we are celebrating not only Black History Month on the show this morning, we're also talking about Black Restaurant Week in the city of Portland. There are more than a handful of local restaurants participating in what is really a nationwide event. It started a few years ago across the country. We celebrated here in Portland this week, and it's all about bringing attention to these Black-owned businesses, many of which wouldn't have the opportunity to market on their own. One of those restaurants in the studio this morning. You know what's happening behind the scenes? Brittany, come on in. Be on the show this morning, Brittany. She is dying to come in here and turn that.
I got it.
All we needed was your pointing to get the job done. Brandon Stevens is the man behind Grits and Gravy, one of the Black-owned restaurants participating in Black Restaurant Week here in Portland. Downtown Portland is where you'll find Grits and Gravy. Brandon, I have so many questions to ask you. The first one is going to be this. As we take a look inside your restaurant, we got some great video from inside the place when you were hopping with business, people behind the scenes making the food, people enjoying it in the dining area. Can you talk about the beginnings, because you had to put in so many hours, so many days in a row getting this restaurant off the ground?
Dreams aren't easy, man. I'll tell you. When I first moved out here, I opened the Mumbo Gumbo food cart to start off, located in Selwood originally. That thing was 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think in a year and a half, I took 20 days off. Other than that, it was just me.
Where were you sleeping during those
early
days?
The first 3 months, I slept in my car because I had a disagreement with a business partner that I originally had came up open, and it was supposed to stay with him. So I slept in the snow that first winter, 2019. I was in my truck, wake up, 24-hour fitness, hit that shower, grab some shopping, and then we get the day going.
It's a great story. It really is a great story. I want to ask you another question, but look at Christine and Rod, just dying to be part of this segment. Come in, my friends.
Sorry about the cold and snow, by the way.
It's time to eat.
So Brandon just plated up what he calls his uptown shrimp and grits.
A little bit fancier than our downtown, but both are good. Just depends on your mood.
Okay, I'm gonna let Christine plate some of that up. You had the downtown last hour. This is the uptown shrimp and grits. What's some of the differences?
So one's definitely traditional Cajun, and one's a little fancy smancy with some Creole French influence. Tomatoes, heavy cream, and wine on this one, as opposed to just chicken stock, fat back, and those sorts of things in the original uptown. Downtown.
Christine is doing her best to plate up with a plastic spoon. You're doing a great job, Christine. I want to bring the conversation back to Black Restaurant Week, because really one of the big things about the week is bringing attention to some of these smaller Black-owned restaurants that wouldn't really be able to market on their own. So this nationwide effort brings attention to hopefully as many of these restaurants as possible. You were trying to make your restaurant work, obviously, but you've also made an effort to help others in this business. Talk about how you do that and why it's so important.
We're stronger together. First of all, Blacks traditionally have not had the same loan opportunities and stuff and get into business. Same background, family history, been taught those things. So I made it a point when I opened the business to be proud to be a Black-owned business, and also to, whenever possible, I'm starting out myself, so I don't have unlimited resources, but I have tons of knowledge with my years in the industry. So I've connected with several Black-owned businesses. Diane, the cookie fiend, she cooks fresh baked goods out of my restaurant. I let her use my restaurant after hours, cook all of her stuff, no charge. She gives me a decent price on stuff I sell in my store, and she runs her business on the side through online. Black artists, more than just Black, local artists, period. We offer a space in our restaurant to provide them a place to show their artwork and build a clientele. No charge again. This is all. There's no need to profit just to help people.
Well, I saw some of that artwork in your restaurant, so it is amazing that you do these collaborations both with people in the business and those working outside the business, like artists. Let's talk about the artwork that is Brandon's Shrimp and Grits. Rod Hill.
The grits themselves are really good. I mean, just the grits are amazing, right? Like Christine said earlier, the spice arrangement is just perfect.
And different too, different than the first one, the downtown one that was more traditional. This is like creamier. Ooh,
yeah, this
so
is
good.
This is the fancy version. And don't let them tell you, anybody who eats grits sweet, you're doing it wrong. You do that when you're 12 years old and below. Grandma gets you ready, Big Mama gets you ready to eat grits. Once you become an adult, savory is the way to go. Butter, chicken stock.
I know you're going to like this last piece of information. We're running up against Rodney's weather time, but we have to mention where the heck you can find Grits and Gravy. We mentioned downtown. There's the specifics on your screen right there on 6th Avenue. They're open 7 days a week for breakfast. They're also open for dinner Wednesday through Sunday. Lots more information, Rod, at gritsandgravypdx.com.